I mentioned in a previous video that both Hume and Hovell carved their names in trees on the banks of the Murray River and that Hovell's is still standing at Hovell Tree Park. Well, the unfortunate story of Hume's tree is that it was damaged by fire and eventually perished. But a memorial was erected to commemorate the tree, and this can now be visited in the Albury Botanic Gardens. They trekked first west, as we saw in my last video, and it appears that they had a discussion about what they would do if they were unable to cross this river. Hovell wrote in his journal on the 17th of November 1824, "As we found that it would be impossible to cross the river in any part we had seen without a good boat, sufficient to keep up the heads of the cattle, we propose going towards the mountains, where perhaps we may find it practicable to cross, as it is not unlikely, but we may find 2 rivers instead of 1. If it so happens that we cannot cross it at all, it is our intention to follow it down for at least 100 miles. On November 18th, they then set out in an easterly direction. Hovell wrote in his journal on the 18th, "Every morning at the first dawn of day, and often before the birds themselves, we are on the move, and by the time we have everything packed up, bullocks and horses loaded, it is generally about half an hour after sunrise. By so doing, we can get half our day's work over by 9 o'clock, before the heat of the day comes on, and about 2 p.m. we are ready to start again." This was the case today. Eventually they came to a place to rest overnight. It's believed that where they camped on the 18th is near the present-day water treatment plant in Albury. Finally, on the 19th, they reached a location they found suitable to cross the river and decided to attempt the crossing the following day. They needed to make repairs to the tarpaulin to again build a makeshift boat. Hovell mentions that they almost lost Mr. Hume's bullock, but as before, they all made it to the other side. The location of their crossing is now under Lake Hume, but monuments have been built in 1924 to commemorate the crossing. One of those monuments is near the weir. This is me visiting it here. And the other is on private land, so I wasn't able to visit it. So there you have it. They arrived at the banks of the Murray on the 16th, and they eventually crossed the Murray River on the 20th of November 1824. And so their journey continued. They were halfway to their goal of reaching the bay.